What's up, Vanguard kids and Vanguard other aged people who play Vanguard like me, who's 19. Today is part 2. Well, today is the same day as I've recorded every other video that's coming out in the magical week of BT12 because I had a lot of work this week. But this is the part 2 of the BT12 deck building tips. While part 1 was about the mainstream decks, these are about the decks that are old clans getting new support. Put them down here in the middle so you can see. This one, it kind of gives it away. It's Pale Moon. Well, you may not know what that one is because it's light pink. That means I'm going to go over it last. And this one, it also gives it away. This is Vowing Saber. Which one should I do first? This one. Pale Moon. Okay. This is stuff from the BT12 Binding Force of the Black Rings that are redone to make a new Pale Moon build. What are the main new cards, you may ask? Well, all of the cards are new. So I'm gonna start by going over the main 2 new grade 3s, which are these 2 right here. And then I'm gonna move my camera over and zoom in. And then no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it like this. Watch angles. No, I'm just gonna stick to this. And then I'm going to talk to you about the deck as a whole and what the main strategy is. So these 2 cards right here. First thing, you have Miracle Pop Eva. This is a elf of the Pale Moon clan. It's 11k. It has 1 critical. No, I'm just being formal. This is the break ride for Pale Moon. The idea is limit break 4. When a Pale Moon rides this unit, it gets plus 10,000 and choose 2 Pale Moon rearguards, put them into your soul. And when this unit attacks, you can choose up to 2 Pale Moon rearguards and call them to separate rearguard circles. He also gets the Soul Charge 1 whenever he attacks, and when he does that, he gets plus 1. So he's at 12k when he attacks. If you never played Pale Moon before, their thing is often about soul switching. So the idea is when he attacks, you put 2 cards into his soul, pull 2 different ones out, which makes for a really easy repeat attack. So you go attack, attack, his ability, into the soul, out of the soul, attack, attack. Of course, that's when you ride over him. Would be what she would do most of the time. This is Silverthorn Dragon Tamer, Silverthorn Dragon Queen Liquier Reverse. She is the reverse of Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Liquier. Her ability... Oh, sorry, if you've never seen the original, because the original is kind of a strange card. It's very good, and it's very expensive for being a normal triple rare, but it came out in a set where people at the time didn't use it a whole lot because it just came out at a weird time in the Vanguard lifecycle. Her ability is Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3. Choose a grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 from your soul, call them to separate rearguards. And when a unit is placed on the rearguard from the soul, it gets plus 3,000. That's such a great card. I don't know why more people didn't use it at the time. Because think about that. 2 attacks in the soul, out of the soul. 2 more boosted, even better attacks. It's 4 full cards. She's a really great card. And her reverse is, it's no joke. It's no laughing matter. It's the Tits Magoo. And I love the red hair. You guys... I'm Christopher Walken. No, I'm not, but I'm here to talk to you about Silverthorn Dragon Queen Liquier Reverse. Oh my god. Her ability is Counterblast 1, choose one of your Pale Moon rearguards and lock it. Oh, that's, if you don't know yet, gimmick of reverse cards is that they lock your own cards to do abilities that are more powerful. Choose one of your Pale Moon rearguards and lock it. Choose a Pale Moon from your soul, call it to rearguard, and that unit gets plus 5,000. Which doesn't seem good until you look at the thing right there. Is that blue? Is that an act? Yes, it's Counterblast 1 and it's an act. Meaning that even after you do his Break Ride ability, you can keep doing this ability. You could just cycle. You could attack 10,000 times a turn. No, that's a lot. You couldn't. But you could attack many times a turn. Plus, when she is in the soul, because obviously... it's a reverse thing. She's at 13k, which is not required itself. In the deck, right now, I'm running... most of my friends did not recommend this. I'm running 3-3-3 because I have 3 of this card. I have 3 of this card, and I have 3 of this card. Some people would probably say it should just be 4 of these, or even just 4 of each of these. But no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 I don't like that. I want to be creative. Pale Moon is a weird clan, and I wanted to make a weirder deck out of it. And now I'm going to do a full deck profile to show you what this shiznit's looking like. Kaboom, boom, 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 all over again. This is the deck. Oh my god, I didn't realize how bad this looked on camera. Hold on, let me move these things around. It turned nighttime, so now I need fake lights. Okay. Anyways, 2 comments I want to make about this deck. First of all, not unlike the pink deck, which I was going to use it to make a point, but now I can't. Not unlike the pink deck from up there. This deck, if you want it to, assembles itself right out of the box, as I call it. Meaning that if you just use 4 of all the Silverthorn or Pale Moon cards that come in this set, you have a deck. It comes with 4 of each trigger. It comes with 4 of each of these new Silverthorn cards. It comes with everything you would need. It comes with a brand new starter and different kinds of grade 3s you can use. There's another Pale Moon grade 3, which is a Persona Blasting Nightmare Doll, which goes good with the old Nightmare Doll build, but doesn't really work as well with this, so I left it out of this. But I have 2, and I'll probably put that in my other Pale Moon deck. So yeah, it makes it really cool for new players to get into the game when if they just like don't know a lot about deck building. They can just, oh yeah, I need Silverthorn cards because they all have Silverthorn in the name, and some of their abilities are supported like that, which I think makes it very cool. With the main deck, I only use Silverthorn cards right now because they're good. They just work well with each other, and I really like them. And they're new. I have an old Pale Moon deck that's old and different, but they wouldn't mix as well together as I would like. However, I did change the trigger lineup, so how about we start there? 4 of the new Silverthorn Juggler Nadia heal triggers. 4 of the Silverthorn Barking Dragon critical triggers. 4 of the new draw triggers, Silverthorn Marionette Natasha. And then these are old triggers that I wanted to balance things out with. A Spiral Master and a Rainbow Magician. These are old draw triggers. And 2 Poison Jugglers, which are old critical triggers. The reason I threw those in there is because I like that balance of triggers better. But they're obviously, I couldn't use more than 4. That's how the game works. You nerds. Also, if you didn't notice, Silverthorn, this was the only Silverthorn card before. This is an old card. It's from BT07. But up until now, Silverthorn wasn't a sub-clan. But now it is. All these cards have Silverthorn in the name, and they work together. Like the starter, Silverthorn Assistant Ionella. When this attack hits a Vanguard, that this unit boosted a Vanguard with Silverthorn in the card name, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, search for one of them with Silverthorn in its name, and put it into your soul. Her ability is kind of like the other good Pale Moon starter's ability, it just is specific to Silverthorn, which is why I like it. I have it in here. Okay. Starting from the bottom, now we're perfect guarding. These are Silverthorn Hypnos Lydia. I have more old perfect guards, which I like better, but they're also hypnotists, and I like that they kept the hypnotizing theme in the name. Yeah, those are the new perfect cards. Grade 1s, as well as that, we have Silverthorn Breathing Dragon. When this unit attacks, if you have a Silverthorn card as your Vanguard, it gets plus 3k. It's a rearguard ability, so it's a 10k rearguard attacker, which I like. The other deck is very similar to this, and I keep referencing it, but it's got a different downfall where most of its cards' abilities are rearguard exclusive, and it makes it seem unbalanced, but it's not. Okay, this is Silverthorn Assistant Irina. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard or Rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Silverthorn in its name, which you will if you ride her onto the Vanguard, obviously. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, search for a Silverthorn, put it into your soul, rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. So yeah, there's a lot of good soul building early in this deck. The theoretical hope would be that you get enough of these grade 2s in your soul that when you use the call-out abilities later, you can call out these good grade 2s. Because the grade 2s are very good. This is Silverthorn Beasthammer Anna. Counterblast 1. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted a Pale Moon, you repay the cost. If you do, choose up to 1 card from your soul with Silverthorn in its card name and call it to Rearguard. So yeah, it's a free call in the turn. Does not have to be called tapped because it goes back at the end of the turn. So you call it out after you boost, get an extra attack in there, and then it goes back. Which is, I think that's an especially nice ability. Like, that'll sneak up on a lot of people because once you use it and it goes back into the soul, it's very stealthy. It's like it was never there. Whoa. These are the 10k vanilla grade 2s. Silverthorn Marionette Lillian. Workeroids, which is a Pale Moon thing. They're like robots, or dolls, kind of. Silverthorn Beast Tamer. Marichichika. Counterblast 2, it's the same ability, basically. If you choose a card from your soul, call it, put it back in the end. Again, very good. Very simple, very good. That's another reason I think BT12 is a good set for beginners, because it has multiple of these decks that you can build just with the cards from the set, and I really like that. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Silverthorn, it's 12. So yeah, it's a rearguard attacker again, which is nice, because that's basically what you want. And I already broke down the grade 3s. I got 3 olds of those, 3 of the break rides, 3 of the reverse. It's a good deck. I haven't tested it yet, but it's a good deck. And I know it's a good deck because I know that the old Silverthorn is great. The new Silverthorns look good, and they have very solid, balanced abilities. But the reason I don't think this is competitive with the other decks is because it's very plain. It's just Pale Moon is just kind of like, and I don't want to like offend any Pale Moon fans because I'm a huge Pale Moon fan. Pale Moon is basically just a different way to get to Aquaforce. And what I mean by that is, it's essentially just multiple attacks. It's a different way of doing it, and I think it's a better way of doing it, but that's all it really is. Oh, this is the Vowing deck I'm putting out the cards. The new cards, so I can talk to you about them. Oh, I shouldn't show you this deck, because this deck sucks right now. It doesn't have all the cards in it yet, but I still got to talk about them. Okay. Now, the only BT12 thing that I didn't make was Dungaree. Exorcist Knight Dungaree build. Just kind of not my thing, but from what I've seen, the new Dungaree Unlimited and the new Exorcist Knight cards are pretty good. But this is what I built instead because I love Eradicators. These are the 4 new cards. This one's Eradicator Blade Hang Draco Kid. He's a starter, and when he boosts an Eradicator card with Vowing in its name, which is pretty much just the Vowing Saber or Vowing Saber Reverse, you put it into the soul, and that unit gets +3 and a crit, which I think is a really powerful starter ability. I know it's super specific, but it's really strong. Okay. Then over here we have Conquering Eradicator Dokasi. This is kind of it came out of nowhere, but I really, really like this ability. It's you tap this unit, and when it's placed in the rear guard, choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards in the front row, and they can't intercept this turn. So if you just place him in the back corner, suddenly it limits your opponent's blocking abilities. I'm running 3 of that. Eradicator Blue Gem Carbunicle. This is just, I mean, it's just a plain draw trigger. It was to replace the fact that you could only have 4 Eradicator draw triggers before. Because if you wanted 8 draw triggers, you had to use the old one that would not have Eradicator. But the main card is Eradicator Vowing Saber Dragon Reverse. His ability is Counterblast 2, choose 2 of your rear guards with Eradicator and lock them, and then your opponent chooses 2 of his or her rear guards and retire them. Then, this unit gets +10,000 until the end of the turn. Plus, he gets +2,000 if you have Eradicator Vowing Sword Dragon. For those of you who don't know, Eradicator Vowing Sword Dragon over here is a break ride. When you ride over him, your opponent chooses when you ride over him, another Kami rides this unit. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it. Then your Vanguard gets +10,000. So he swings for 33,000, and you've lost 3 rear guards. That's insane. Plus, with the starter, he swings for 36,000 double crit, and that's not even that much work. That's just that would be the best break ride. I'm not even kidding. That's super good. I wish they had added more, but I mean, it's really good as it is, so I'm not really surprised. Unfortunately, this deck does not come pre-built because most of these cards are from the last trial deck and the last 2 sets, so that deck requires a little more assembly, as it were. The last deck I have here it really surprised me because when I first saw what it was, it didn't appear to be very good to me. But then I had a magical jump cut, and I realized that Amon's Followers was a lot better of an idea than I thought it was. And I'll explain why as I go through this deck, which is the Amon's Followers new build. This is another build that you can kind of like assemble out of the box, like I was saying before. All the cards you need are in this set, including reprints of Demon World Marquee Amon, which is very helpful because when Amon came out, if you guys have been playing Vanguard for that long, it came out in set 3, but because of the way Vanguard cards were released in America, set 3 came out way later than it was supposed to, and Amon was already kind of like forgotten about. Nobody really wanted it when it came out, but I want it now. And the reason I decided to make this deck is because when I was opening boxes, not only did I get an SP Amon, I got an SP King of Masks Dantarian, which is the Break Ride. So I kind of felt like I had to do it, or I was wrong about something. Like, the world was wrong if I didn't make this deck. Let me go through it piece by piece, explain the pros and cons, because I think this is a good deck, but it's got a big drawback at the moment. The biggest pro, obviously, being that you can build it just with BT12. This is Amon's Followers Fate Collector, the starter. His rearguard ability is very simple. If he's a Forerunner, and then if the number of Dark Irregulars in your soul is 6 or more, put this unit into your soul, and when he boosts a Dark Irregular, draw a card. Very simple. We got 4 Amon's Follower Cruel Hand, which is the Amon's Follower critical trigger. I've got 4 of the Amon's Follower Hell's Trick, which is the Little Devil Girl heal trigger that does card tricks. There's actually like a grade 0, grade 1, and a grade 2 of those girls that do card tricks. I think it's kind of cute. Then this is Amon's Followers Meteor Collector, the stand trigger. Oh, big eye. Okay, stand trigger. And we have 4 Amon's Followers Psychic Waitresses. The draw trigger. I kept the triggers 4, 4, and 4 because I don't have a lot of old Dark Irregular cards here with me in my apartment right now. They're at other places, and I wanted to keep the Amon's Followers ones as the one I was using. Okay, grade 1s. This is Amon's Followers Hell's Deal, another one of the girls doing card tricks. But this brings up one of my main problems with the deck. Its effect is, when this card is placed on the rear guard, if you have a Vanguard with Amon in the name, you may soul charge 2. Apart from this grade 2, all of the other cards' effects, like below grade 3s, are rear guard effects. It means that you're very limited, except for this one as well, but that doesn't really, its effect is a drop zone effect, so it doesn't, it's not a, it's a soul effect you can use while it's in the soul, so it's not very helpful when you are just riding these cards, so you're going to take a hit on not being able to use one of these cards' abilities when you first ride it, which is kind of a shame. But it doesn't make them bad, because it does mean you get a lot of very early soul charging for the later abilities. This is Amon's Followers Fool's Palm. I believe of the lower than grade 3 cards, besides the Perfect Guard, this is one of the 3 rares. Choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed in the rear guard, if the number of Dark Irregulars in your soul is 6 or more, pay the cost, draw a card. Not bad. This is Amon's Follower Fu Lin. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Amon in the name, it gets plus 3,000. The art on these cards is nice, and they're kind of like themed together, which is cool. Like, there's another card like that with Blue Fire Animal, and there's another card with the card tricks. This is Amon's Follower Vlad Specula. I was lucky enough to get 3 of the Perfect Guard out of the packs, and I'm going to stick with 3 because I think they're like 12 bucks each, and I don't really want to spend any more money for this right now. Amon's Follower Hell's Draw. This is the last card trick girl. Her ability is when this unit is placed in the rear guard, if you have a Vanguard with Amon in the name, soul charge 2. It's the exact same ability. This is the one that doesn't have that ability. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard or rear guard, if the number of Dark Irregulars in your soul is 6 or more, pay the cost, which is Counterblast 1. If you soul charge 1, and this card gets 5,000. So it's a pretty good card. That's what I would want to ride every time. This is Dimension Creeper. It's a soul ability. From your soul, put it into the drop zone, and if you have a Dark Irregular Vanguard, soul charge 2. I'm running 3 because it's just a nice extra soul charge. I forgot to do that too. That's a grade 1. I missed that in the grade 1 lineup. This is another beater one. It's a 9k, but if you have a Vanguard with Amon, it gets plus 3k, which is nice. Okay, grade 3 lineup. My grade 3 lineup is not 100% set up yet because I'm not exactly sure what the best way to do it is. What I'm thinking is 3 break rides, 2 Amons, 2 Amon reverse, but I'm not totally sure yet. Let me go through them one at a time. This is the break ride, of which I have I got 3, and one of them is SP. And it looks fantastic, by the way. It's a cool art card. King of Masks, Dantarian. His ability is, when a Dark Irregular rides this unit, choose your Vanguard, and until the end of the turn, it gets plus 10,000. And choose up to 3 of your Dark Irregular rear guards, and to the end of the turn, this unit gets plus 1,000 for each Dark Irregular in the soul. By now, by the time you ride up to grade 3, you should already have like 6 Dark Irregulars in the soul, so that's like an extra 6k for 3 of your rear guards. That's as good as the Gold Paladin break ride. I really like it. And then when this unit deals attacks a Vanguard, soul charge 1, and this unit gets plus 1,000, so with a 12k attacker on its own. So it's a good little card. This is the card I'm probably not going to use at all in my deck. It's just filling space right now, but it's a double rare, Master of the 5th Element. It's a later game card. It's during your turn, the number of Dark Irregulars in your soul is 10 or more. All of your Dark Irregulars get plus 3k. When this unit's attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, soul charge 3. So it's also a good card if you are, in general, once you get a big soul. I might leave 1 in, because he's like really good like at the very end of the game. But as far as like the other grade 3s, I think he's probably the worst, just because 10 in the soul is a lot, but not uncommon with this deck. Okay, and here we have the really weird looking Demon Marquis Amon reverse. The art is it's very cool, but it's very strange, and the foiling is also very nice. Okay, his ability is, it's long, so give me a second. Gulp. Choose one of your Dark Irregular rear guards and lock it. This unit gets plus 1,000 for each Dark Irregular in your soul until the end of the turn. If the number of Dark Irregulars in your soul is 6 or more, this unit gets plus 1 critical until the end of the turn. This ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. So it's an axe, so you have to lock 1 to get that ability, which is not bad, but you can only use it once. It's okay, and it gets plus 3,000. It gets plus 2,000 if there's a normal Amon in your soul already, which is not, it's 11k. You don't really need that. It's kind of useless. The normal Amon, I get also SP, which is beautiful. During your turn, it gets plus 1,000 for each Dark Irregular in the soul. Choose one of your Dark Irregular rear guards, put that unit into your soul. The opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and retires it. So I think, ignoring those, balance-wise, any combination of these 3 or just the reverse and the normal Amon are probably going to serve you pretty well as if you play this deck. This is a pretty, again, this is a good deck for beginners as well, I think, because everything's in set 12. If you buy a couple boxes of set 12, you're definitely going to get all the commons, you're going to get some of the triple rares, and I mean, I know Amon, I don't know how much this Amon goes for. I know the last set Amon goes for 30 bucks. To 40 bucks for SP, which is a medium priced card. I think this probably goes for about 25. The break ride probably goes for 20-25 as well. So this is a nice little deck for someone who is newer to the game, or for somebody who's more interested in a kind of less mainstream clan. Like I'm saying, this is the less mainstream episode. Hashtag not mainstream. Whoa. Hashtags are cool. I'm going to change my channel name to hashtag Vanguard Vlogs. Yeah, but other than that, this is a good deck. It just has the problem of, I mean, there's been a lot of grade 3s in this set for different clans, but it just has the big problem of the limitation of Vanguard abilities. It's not bad. It just means that from the Amon's Followers cards, you're not going to get anything like that. There are a few older cards with Amon in the name. There's an old grade 1 and an old grade 2, which I might add into this deck, that they get little bonuses for having X number of cards in the soul. And they're not bad. You could put those in, especially since it doesn't say they have to be Amon's follower. They just have to be named Amon, which I think is a good way to keep some of the old cards, especially the core Amon, in the game, which is really nice. So this is a nice deck. I hope you guys. I'm going to collect these up here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making these Week of BT12 videos. The next thing that's going to go up is I gave a schedule last video and I totally forget what it was. I'm going to do an unboxing whenever my box gets here. Hopefully it's here today and I can film it now. But if I film it now and I get cards I needed, then I have to just refilm everything because I'm a big nerd. No. Film an unboxing. I might do a battle video. I would need somebody to do it with. But if I can't do that, I'll just do a breakdown of what I think is the best deck and what I think is the worst deck of these sets and why. And that'll be my conclusion to the epic week of BT12, which has been a really good week. BT12 is it's my favorite set that's come out in a long time. It's probably my favorite set since 10. Or, no, that's not far enough back. That was the last set. It's probably my favorite set since, no, I just love Vanguard so much. Every single set is my favorite every single time. No. Unfortunately, Catastrophic Outbreak doesn't look like it's going to be as good. The big grade 3 Link Joker on the front is not as good. I personally don't think it's as great. But it has the Great Nature reverse, which looks cool. And some other reverses and stuff like that I think are going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be a bad set. It's just it just supports things that I'm not interested in. Like, it has a lot of bestiary support, which I'm not really keen on. But I'm excited for Dayusha reverse. I'm going to sell one of my other decks and make a Dark Dayusha deck. Maybe Dayusha reverse and Break Ride. I don't even know. You'll just have to keep tracking me on Vanguard vlogs to see what's up. Besides BT12, what's my next unboxing gonna be? I'll do a Dimensional Brave Kaiser English unboxing, I guess. And I'm not sure if that deck's gonna be super great, just because the Dimensional Robos are already so good. I think the Break Ride kind of gets in the way. I'm just trying to think of what's the other thing that Catastrophic Outbreak brings back new Batamas, which is the only thing I'm really excited for. So yeah, have a good weekend, guys.